and I don't even want to say Beto, Robert Francis O'Rourke, the phony Mexican. He's Irish.
He's too tall.
I don't know what he is. But can we rely on these phony politicians to determine that everyone is a red flag risk and use that as a justification to ban firearms? And you know what, my friends? The idea that we are only a few, I always love, we're only a few common sense gun laws away, just a few, from eliminating the problem of evil in America and American society. This is a myth. It's crazy. After any tragedy, it's tempting. It's very tempting. Everyone wants to call upon our elected officials to do something. Do something. Do something to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Run for Congress.
But it's not enough, my friends, to simply do something. We must do the right thing. That's what we must do. The hell does do something mean? But you know what? As I've said, some people, they don't want to hear that. They want to go to the yearbook clubs and their glee clubs. And they want to go home to their wives and husbands and they want to hear what they want to hear. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the hard truth of what it takes to defeat a despicable, strident enemy on the other side. They'd rather believe the lies told by opportunistic politicians and activists. They all pretend to have the easy answers. But you know what I say to them? And you should say to them too. Outrage isn't an argument. I'm tired of it. Outrage. I'm outraged. Could you imagine being a Democrat and waking up every day? All you are is outraged about everything. Tomorrow they're going to be outraged that there's 576 genders instead of 572. I mean, these people are incredible. They're outraged about everything. But you know, my friends, the legal system, and I've seen it, it can be abused for political purposes. And the leftists in this country, you've seen it, have already called the NRA a domestic terrorist organization. So there you go. No. NRA, San Francisco Board of Examiners, called the NRA a terrorist organization. So it's my privilege to talk to all these terrorists tonight in this room. This is what we're dealing with. Is anyone here a terrorist?
No.
Are we all members of the NRA, or some of us? If you're not, you should join today. Thank you, Patriot. So if you're a member of the NRA, you're a member. Wouldn't that be grounds for reporting you under a red flag law? San Francisco says the NRA members are terrorists. Let's report Steve. He's a member, he's a terrorist, let's report him. You don't think that can happen? He's dangerous under a red flag law. He's a member of the NRA. Members, contributors, those who have taken training classes or on the mailing list can be red flagged as potential terrorists. You don't think this can happen? You think I'm crazy standing up there saying this? This can happen. This not only can it happen, it will happen. Could you imagine a Pocahontas administration?
Never gonna happen.
How about crazy AOC as Director of Homeland Security? You don't think this can happen? It can happen. And it is happening. But you know what the most unsettling thing is, friends? Seriously. The most unsettling thing, at least to me, and I hope it is to you too, is that too many Republican lawmakers nationwide, our supposed people that we campaign for, contribute to, sweat our asses off in the middle of August going door to door to get these guys elected and women. They're on the red flag train. They don't care about us. They want to be friends with Jake Tapper. They want to be invited to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. They don't care about you. So you walked around and you knocked door to door in August heat in Hialeah? What do they care? They don't even know you. You donated $5, they don't care about you. Did you elect Republicans? Think about it. Everyone in this room, think about it. Did you elect Republicans so you could give Chuck and Nancy what they want? You want to give Chuck and Nancy what they want?
No. Never.
What? Say it louder.
No!
Because this is being broadcast all over. I want some enthusiasm here.
No!
You think I stood up night and day creating this presentation out of enthusiasm?
No.
If not, I'll walk out that door. Tired of this. We need to get tough now. Are you prepared, my friends, to abandon due process? Or the concept of innocent until proven guilty in a desire to enact red flag laws? Are you ready to do it? Let's all do it.
It's what makes America America.
Right. Here, one of our greatest presidents, Ronald Reagan. Under no pretext should arms and ammunition be surrendered. Any attempt to disarm the people must be stopped by force if necessary. But is little Marco going to say that?
No.
Is it? I don't know. Because we have too many Tessio Republicans that we put into office because we let them get elected because we hate the Democrats more. But you've heard me say it many times, never Trumpers are more despicable and more dangerous than any Democrat. Because any Democrat, at least, a Democrat will stab you in the front. You see it coming. You maybe could fight it off, but you see it. It's coming. And never Trump will get you right in the back every time. Every time.
Brutus.
Correct. So we all have to remember, one of our great presidents, Ronald Reagan, the Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution declares a well-regulated militia being necessary to a free state. I hope you're not going to the door. Thank you. A well-regulated militia being necessary to a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Period. Now, why do I say that? Why? Because that right, that very right, let's go back to the beginning of this presentation. This right reflects a universal historical power of the people in a republic. And that's what we are. We're a republic. We're not a democracy, we're a republic. Most people have no clue. To resist tyranny. This right was not recognized in the German Reich. It wasn't recognized. But our founding fathers, who were brilliant, but let's tear down their statues. Let's forget they existed. Let's take down Columbus. What are we dealing with in this country? Are we prepared to allow our heritage to be destroyed by a radical socialist enemy in this country? Who's prepared to allow that?
No.
I didn't hear you.
No. None of us.
Our founding fathers didn't want Americans powerless against their own government. Now, let me tell you, friends, in all fairness, I'm for strengthening background checks with the focus, but it has to be on the felons, the fugitives, those with dangerous mental illnesses. But we have to, at the same time, protect constitutional rights of law-abiding citizens. But I'm telling you, my friends, because I've studied this, I've researched this, make no mistake about it. The more you expand the universe, of firearms sales and ownership subject to background checks, you are one step closer to a national firearms registry. Just like they had in the Weimar Republic and just like they had in Nazi Germany. And I'm telling you, gun registries are sinister. They're about a loss of privacy and freedom. But you know what they're really about, most of all, my friends? They're about confiscation. That's what this is all about. Gun confiscation.
Scott, I have a question.
Oh wait, later. Sit tight. The only reason for the government to register your guns, there's only one reason to register your guns.
Take them away.
You know what the reason is to register your guns? Is to confiscate your guns. Why the hell else would they need to register them? And I love this quote. There you go. KGB proverb. Disarm the people and you own the people.
That's right.
Remember those. Take a picture of that slide. Disarm the people and you own the people. Because my friends, red flag laws are always the precursors to the desired Democrat outcome. They only have one outcome, the Democrats. You know what that is? We all know. The criminalization of all firearm ownership. That's what the Democrat outcome is. Well, that too. And remember, the confiscation of firearms kept by peaceable citizens have historically, I'm a student of history, historically been associated with some of the world's most insidious tyrants. There you go. After they took their guns away, take a picture of that. Castro, Hitler, Stalin, Mao. They took the guns away, there you go.
That's what happened.
That's what happens.
6 million, 50 million.
Sitting duck. Second Amendment.
And we have got to be prepared to stand up to a very insidious Democrat enemy. And until you start fighting like your lives depend upon it, I don't want to be on the other side of that pit. Do you?
No.
You want to be in the pit?
No. Ever. Learn on that.
Because we know from history that nations that have tried, that criminals do not register their firearms.
That's right.
Only the grudging good guys do.
Yep.
And as history has shown, terrorist governments have the capacity to commit genocide against millions and millions of people, like this picture shows, provided the people are disarmed. And we can add Venezuela to that list too. So I'm going to show you another quote. And this is probably the most profound quote there is, so get your cameras ready. No, it's not my quote. Adolf Hitler, the most foolish mistake we could possibly make would be to allow the subject races to possess arms. History shows that all conquerors who have allowed their subject races to carry arms have prepared their own downfall by so doing. Adolf Hitler. Think about that. Hitler was evil, but he wasn't stupid. And he laid it out, everything in Mein Kampf, if you ever read that book. He laid it out. When your enemies tell you what they plan on doing, believe them. Don't shrug it off like, oh no, it couldn't happen. I can't believe it. No, it can't be that bad. When the mullahs in Iran say they want to wipe Israel off the face of the earth, believe them. They mean it. We may have the watches in America, the watches. We may have the clocks, the watches. You know what the enemy has? The time. Remember that.
They waited how long?
Good quote.
They will wait forever.
Good soundbite.
We have the watches, they have the time.
Good soundbite.
We got them this week.
We got them this week. Thank God. Yeah. Thank God. Thank God President Trump didn't tip off the Democrat enemy, Pelosi and Schiff. They would have leaked to the media like a sieve. They would have thwarted that mission to make Trump look bad. 100%.
That's right.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Beat your enemy into submission.
Exactly. Exactly. We must conquer our enemy into submission.
The enemy sometimes
Beat your enemy into submission.
Well, let me tell you, my friend. Yeah, absolutely. No, the enemy, absolutely. But let me say, my friends, as I'm coming to the end of this, because we're going to have a lot of questions, let's have some discussion. I want my friend Rich Logis to come up. The experiences of Hitler's Germany or Stalin's Russia, they're always dismissed. Always. Oh, that can't happen. That's beneath the realm of possibility in America.
Right.
No, it's not.
It happens.
This is a young country. What are we, 236, 240 years old?
Yeah.
China's been around 5,000 years. What do you mean it can't happen in America? It happened in World War II with the Japanese. Don't tell me that. But this doesn't mean that politicians in power won't try to erode Second Amendment rights and other freedoms towards some greater good that they all arbitrarily define. And let's look at, again, recent history, right now in our own lifetimes. We've got presidents. Barack Hussein Obama. How the hell did he get elected? We have presidents like inspiring their political opponents, wiretap their adversaries, unmask American citizens, abuse the FISA courts, use the considerable power of the IRS to punish political opponents. Is it really that unreasonable to be concerned with the implications of restricting Americans' access to firearms
It's the next step.
while using gun registration files for political purposes? Is it that unreasonable? Am I off the wall here? What do you mean, yeah? No. Right. I hear everything. But let me tell you something, my friends. To those who would register and disarm American citizens today, and there are plenty, the history, that's why I started with that, the history of Nazi Germany teaches a valuable lesson. This serves as a warning to us now for the 2020 election
Coming back around.
and every election thereafter. You know, for years, advocates of the right to keep and bear arms, we've all suspected, those who pay attention, that confiscation was the end game. But we were always rebuffed. Oh, those guys, they're just paranoiacs. The press says, oh, they're nuts. That's not going to happen. It can't happen. But let me show you, my friends. Nobody is coming for your guns is no longer true. There you go. Right there. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15.
Let him try.
They're not pretending anymore. They're not hiding it anymore. They're telling you when your enemy